Hey everyone, how are you doing today? It's Friday. This is my second, we'll call it Facebook Friday. This morning would normally be my in-home class, as well as a repeat of that same class for tonight. And of course, everybody's in isolation, quarantining. So I have moved last week's class and this week's to Facebook. So it's been kind of fun, been a whole different learning curve and new stuff for me. So I hope you all have had a great week since I last saw you. And our house is a little quieter this week. Our daughter, her husband, and their just 6-month-old baby actually finally were able to get some flights yesterday to Ireland. So we FaceTimed a little while ago. They are in their new living quarters, temporary corporate housing for now until they find something. And they looked great. They had a long day yesterday, of course, with the baby, but the planes, she said, were very empty, maybe 20 people on the flights. So that part was nice, and I'm glad that they're there safely. And now they will, of course, begin a new 2-week quarantining while they work from home with a 6-month-old with no childcare until their quarantine is over. So wishing them all the best. But my house is quiet now. And it's been so fun having them here. So my hubby's upstairs working and I'm downstairs working. And so I'm happy to get to come on and say hello to you today. So welcome. I want today to talk about the brand new Ornate Garden Suite. It's so cool. It's going to be in the upcoming Stampin' Up! New annual catalog that begins in June. But Stampin' Up! Has released it early for us, and it's just gorgeous. It's just fun. It has some kind of a throwback, some of the colors throwback maybe to the 70s or 80s. And it's called Ornate Garden, so it's very ornate. Has lots of little scrolls and things, and it's just beautiful. So I want to show you some of that today for our projects, but also some other projects. If you remember, my friend Hetty from Canada was here earlier in March, and she designed some really cute projects using this suite as well. So she has given me permission to show them to you and share them with you. One of them she shared with my team for our team meeting, which we also did virtually. And it's just fun. I just want to give you an idea of lots of different variety of things that you can do with the suite. So I'm going to move my phone down. Remember, it's a little wobbly. I'm not great at this yet. So as I switch down, you may have to close your eyes for a second, but hang on just a sec. All righty. So what I hope you're seeing is this beautiful designer paper. And I'm just going to turn this on my laptop as well so I can kind of see what you're seeing. So again, there's 6 pages. You can see you receive 12 in the pack, but you get 2 of every page that you see here. So it's beautiful. There is some gold embellishing on here, embossing, if you will, which means when you see that, so for instance, this white page here, you can use your Stampin' blends to color this in. You can use our brayer. We have a sponge brayer that you can use to roll on color. If any other mediums, if you like colored pencils, but it's just fun. It's really fun. You can color it, and obviously the gold will stay gold, and you can color in the flowers and leaves and things any way you'd like. So the back side of these 6 are going to show you a few more gold things, but also just some fun and funky prints. Aren't these fun? You can see now why I said they remind me of the 70s, kind of the 70s kitchen colors, the old days, the greens and yellows. And another piece, this piece we'll be using on one of our projects today as well with this pretty gold. So that's the designer paper that comes with this suite. And we also have this gorgeous embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder. And check out these dies that come in here. Here's where the word ornate comes in. Are these beautiful? And let me just tell you, get the right number. There are 8 of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frame dies. Inside here is this die, which I used on a card today. And I use this frame die. And we use this one on one of our projects today. So they're just gorgeous. Along with the suite comes these border dies. Now, if you order these this weekend with my ordering special, I want you to know that these, they call them the border dies, Ornate border dies, and there are 9 in this pack. This pack itself is back ordered a few weeks. I'm not sure. You can imagine Stampin' Up! Is trying to get their hands on lots of stock, especially right now with the factories getting back up and running in China. It's taking a little bit. So, but they're scheduled to be here, I believe, the very first week of May, if not sooner. So you can still order them, but they're fun, and we're using 2 of these borders in today's projects. The stamp sets, I know it's backwards, I apologize. We have Ornate Style and Ornate Thanks. Ornate Thanks is photopolymer, so you can see exactly where to place those words on your project. And the Ornate Thanks is a red rubber cling stamp, so it clings nicely to your block. And I've used a couple of these today for my envelopes and the little inside piece, the insert. Okay, here come the pretty embellishments with this suite. They are so gorgeous. I love them. So we've got some Old Olive and Terracotta Tile, which is an in color ribbon. So it's 1/4 inch ribbon. Very pretty, and you'll see that today as well, that how I've used that in some projects. And also you'll be able to get some of that for free if you'd like. The Piece de Resistance, I love my embellishments. And so these are called Gilded Gems. They're golden color, and they're just beautiful. They're faceted, and I don't know if you can see them shining or not, but they're really pretty. So of course we're going to be using those today because they're just so pretty. So some of the projects that we've done and that Hetty worked on when she was here in March is from this set. You can see, let me get the stamp. The Ornate Style has this large flower stamp. And what Hetty did for this note card is she heat embossed with gold heat embossing powder onto a piece of watercolor paper. And she used this large stamp, but she just used about 2/3 of it. And then she sprinkled, have you used our pigment sprinkles lately? Sometimes I forget that I have them. And when Hetty comes, because she loves techniques, she gets them right out and makes some fun stuff with them. So we have 6 beautiful colors in our pigment sprinkles this year. So she used the Melon Mambo, and you think it would just have pink in it, right? But it doesn't. It has, see all these other pretty colors? Has some yellow and then of course orange, and it just made such a beautiful card. She trimmed it up, put it on some black cardstock for a mat, and then put it on a note card. And then she also used the thanks that comes in the Ornate Thanks set and gold heat embossed that on some black. And then she used one of the frames from the So Sentimental bundle to trim that out. So just a pretty way to use that. If any of you are watching, I am, to be compliant with Stampin' Up!, I can sell to anybody in the US. But if you are in Canada and you'd like any technique help, or you have questions, or if you'd like to order your product, you check it out. You send me a message and I will get you in touch with Hetty because she would love to help you with your techniques. She is the guru. Let me get a little bit more light over here. So this you're going to love. She made these teepee cards. Let me see if I can kind of hold them so that the camera will see. So they're made with this suite, and you can see that they all have some vellum, but check out this vellum. It is embossed. It's from the Perennial Essence set, the vellum is, but she embossed it with the Ornate embossing folder. Isn't it gorgeous? So one side has the embossing, one side has DSP, the designer paper from this set, and then the other side has the sentiment with a little daisy, the small daisy punch and sprig punch with the vellum. And the nice thing about these teepee cards, I don't know if you've made one before, but but when we made them, we just decided in order for them to fold and go in an envelope, we just used some Velcro. So to send it, you can fold it down like this and it'll fit right into an envelope. So you can send it to your friends, and when they get it, they just need to stand it up and they can look right at it. So I just love those. I wanted to share those with you. Thank you, Hetty, for saying that that was okay. They're so pretty. My in-person class people would, of course, get to play with them and get to see them, but no in-person classes right now. So we're trying to do the next best thing. So I hope you're liking these Facebook Lives so far. Today's only number 2, but, but I'll get there. So today's projects, let me show you a little bit, are 2 cards that I have for you. So I am part of a monthly collaborative group where we share our projects, and when each month, if you've received one of them in the past, when you purchase an order that's $35 or more from me, then you are able to receive this tutorial. So it's a 16 project tutorial that I email out to you when I receive those orders, and I have a new one each month. So this particular card with the terracotta tile base is my project for the April tutorial. So for those of you who order and receive the tutorial, you'll recognize it. And then there will be 15 other fun projects for you as well. So everything on here is from the Ornate Garden Suite, except this small stitched rectangle is from the Stitched Rectangle dies. But on this card with the Highland Heather, this rectangle with the, that is the stitched rectangle, is actually included in the Ornate dies. So they're very similar cards using the DSP. You can see the designer paper that I chose here is that gold one that we talked about that you could use on its own. It would be so pretty if you colored it. I would love that. So we're gonna make both of these today because I want to show you how to do it. And then just a reminder, anybody who places an order now through Monday night and the order is over $35, not only will you receive the 16 project tutorial, but you'll also receive the product in the mail to make these 2 cards, plus you'll receive this pillow gift that I designed with the Ornate Sweet Garden product. This is also a pillow box from Stampin' Up! That's in our catalog, but I just decorated it with the ribbon and frame and things, and I will put some of the Ornate Garden ribbon and some of those gold gilded gems inside for you as a special treat. So this week I shipped out everybody's project kits who ordered last weekend. So I hope if you're watching, you've received them. They went out, I believe Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm sorry, I don't remember. So if you haven't received yours, I'm sure you'll get it probably today or tomorrow at the latest. So enjoy those project kits. Alrighty, so let's make this card first. Since that was the first card that I made with this set. Let's see, let me get my sample, pre-cut everything. Let's take a peek. And for both cards, we're going to be using terracotta tile for our ink. And that kind of keeps it easy as well for you. Remember that if you order and you receive the project kits, and if I send those out to you because your order is over $35, I cannot send the stamped images. So what I want you to do is to use any stamp you have, or of course you can order the stamped images, or excuse me, the stamps through me this weekend, and then you'll receive those kits. So whatever works for you. One of the things I wanted to show you today that I didn't have out last week is the Take Your Pick tool. So it also has a die brush tip that you can purchase separately. And this is so cool on this set, especially because see how there's all these little pieces? This brush is pretty amazing. It just takes them right out for us. So I wanted to mention that to you. I have my little spatula on this end. I like to use this spatula. You'll see me pick up, for instance, when it's time to put the little gold gilded gems on our project, I can pick them up with this, or you can use the Take Your Pick tool with one of the other ends, which is a little pokey. So you can pick them up that way as well. So everybody has their personal liking, and you just got to figure out and do what works for you. But this brush, I wasn't sure about it at first because we used to have a die brush, but this brush I actually like better. And I like it better, I think, because the bristles are shorter and they're just a little stiffer. Not stiff enough to mess up my project, but just stiff enough to take off everything that I need to remove. So I think this one, oh no, there's a couple. See, sometimes you have a couple left and you don't even notice. I try to pick them off when I cut them, but that doesn't always happen either. Okay. So now that kind of made a big old mess. Let me just scooch that off to the side here. So I did use the Petal Pink Vellum that comes in the Perennial Essence Vellum Pack. It's been in the annual catalog, so I thought it was time to give it a little bit of use. And the designer paper that comes with this Ornate Garden set is just so, so pretty. I just love it. And here it is. I'm sorry, let me look for my adhesive here. So we're just going to put some adhesive on the back of the flower piece. I chose this piece. If you have this set at home and you have the paper, you are welcome to choose whatever you'd like. And let's see here. This is a really simple card. It kind of seems like it has a lot of pieces, but it's pretty simple to put together. That did not go down very straight. Let's take a peek. Okay, and then next I'm just going to put adhesive around the back because we're going to put down the ribbon. And I already forgot one of my main points to you was going to be put your adhesive where it's not going to show through. So I just was going to put a little bit here in the middle. And now this edge might show because I wasn't thinking and I forgot. But when we put it down, sometimes with vellum, sometimes the adhesive shows through. So I'm just going to put my ribbon. You can see, just since I have adhesive on the back, it's going to hold nicely. And I'm putting it just right along that edge of that designer paper. And then I can just add a little bit of adhesive to that. And what I did, I wanted to leave this space over here so we could put the pretty flower strip. I'm not sure how much you can see of that. Okay, now this flower strip, it comes, the die is about this long. So what I need to do is to get my paper snips so that I can trim off a little bit so it'll fit on the front of my card. So I think this is where I trimmed on the last one. I just kind of trimmed, let's see, around here, I think. And then I'll measure, and if it's too long, I'll trim off a little more. There we go. So for this piece, it's going to lay right here so we can see that, yes, it fits. I'm going to round that up a little bit more. Sometimes when I cut, I have to take my glasses off, so I'm not doing that today. So I may not be the best trimmer of the flowers at this point. Okay, so then I want to get some glue dots because I think that they will work really nicely to kind of hide under here some, so I can get some adhesive. Okay, let's see, one more. Bet I can hide some under these leaves. Perfect. So what are y'all doing at home to stay busy and stay out of trouble? Now that everybody's at home, it's just not quite as easy to just can't run out when you need something. I ordered some more stuff from Amazon this morning. Thank goodness for Amazon, right? I'm very grateful for them. So let's see. So now our card's still a little plain, so I want to dress it up a little bit. And I want to show you a couple tips. Let me get these cute little flowers that I cut out earlier. So the flowers come in 3 different sizes. So we could say small, medium, and large. But a fun tip, one of the holes is larger than the other 2. And this was what I found. If you line up, find the big hole, and if you line it up, that's going to fit. Now you don't have to. It doesn't look bad if you don't. So it's not really the end of the world. But I thought it was just kind of a fun tip so that if you're somebody who wants to line it up, line up the big hole on your flower with the big hole down here. And you'll find that they line up pretty darn well. So I decided to go for a blushing bride flower here in the middle. And again, if they don't line up exactly, it's okay. But I'm just putting these on with glue dots because it's just an easy way to get them down. And when I put those gilded gems on, that glue dot's going to get covered. So don't worry if you're seeing the glue dot in between there, okay? All righty. So this is going to be, oh, that's right. This is going to be my flower for the sentiment. Okay. So now we can stamp the sentiment. So let me put some ink on it and you'll be able to see what I've done there. Got a little gold gem on there. So I lined up 2 stamps right here on the same block. And how I did that is I lined them up on my grid paper, how I wanted them to be. And then I put the block right on top to pick both stamps up at once. So let's see about this Stampin' Upside Down thing. Because they're photopolymer and clear, I can see through them, obviously, so then that makes it a little easier to stamp for me. Okay, put that over there. So this piece here, our sentiment, is going to just go down flat onto this ornate frame. Alrighty, and then I've got some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we'll put those on the back. Sometimes I feel like I kind of use a lot of these, but I don't like my projects to be saggy in the middle or anything. So this one I'm going to use 6. And again, that's just so it'll kind of stand up nicely on the card. And it won't sink down. Nobody likes a saggy card. So this can really, you can put it high or low. I'm just kind of going roughly in the middle. It may come over your ribbon a little bit, and that's okay. Now, some of my favorite parts right now, because now we're going to get to put on those pretty gold gems. First, I want to put this flower right here, but I want to pop it up. So do you have any of these little mini dimensionals? They're pretty cool. You can see they're smaller, and they're just going to do exactly what we need them to do right here. And then once I put some gold, it's gonna pop. Let's take a peek. So we'll put some big ones here. And then on our little one off to the side, we'll put a medium one. But you can put whatever size you want. There we go. That's our first card. Oh, let me stamp the envelope and the inside. So this one, I thought one of the ornate stamps would be fun, this is just like a grouping of flowers. Let's see if I can get this there for you. It just adds a little bit. You know, I don't like my inside or my envelopes to be naked. I like them to have a little bit of fun to them. And if you wanted to put a saying, if you wanted to stamp a saying, you certainly could. So let me put that back here, and This is going to go on the inside of our card. Oh, there we go. There we go. I don't think I put that on. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so there's card 1. So good job. If you're making this at home, remember any type of saying would be really fun. You can turn it into a happy birthday, a happy Mother's Day. But right now I'm trying to focus on cards that I can be sending out, encouraging cards. So thank you and just for you and for all you do, those kinds of cards seem to be very appropriate right now. All righty. So I hope you liked the first one. Let me get set up here and we'll do our second card. So our second card, I wanted to bring a little Highland Heather because purple is one of my favorite colors. So why not? And I thought we could dress it up, still using the terracotta tile cardstock. That's kind of a staple within the Ornate Garden Suite. So here are our pieces. Let's see if we need, oh yes we do, see? Sometimes, like I said, even when you think you got all the little pieces out, you need to brush away a few more. So this brush, so handy. All righty. So for this, I just cut a piece of designer paper, and I believe it's 2 3/4 by 5, because this original piece of terracotta tile that's going to go on the front of the card, I started with a piece that was 5 1/4 by 4, and then I took one of the dies from the border set and did that cut right along the bottom. I ran it through my die machine. So you can see right here. So I just lined it up and centered it. It has these little tabs. I just tried to center it the best I could and then ran it through the die machine like that. Okay, so let's put this piece on. And today we're not going to color it, but maybe down the road we will. We'll be able to get some blends out and color these pretty flowers. Remember, our Stampin' blends are alcohol markers, so they work really well to they'll color your ribbon. They will color your embellishments. If you have white or clear embellishments, you want to make a certain color to match your project, you can use our alcohol blends. They're very cool. Okay, so now this piece can go down onto our card base so that we can start building upwards on it. Okay, so you'll notice I didn't put adhesive. You could if you wanted, and you could put a glue dot, and I guess maybe we still can. A glue dot right under these flowers because they're going to be covered up. So the glue dot won't show, but it will help hold things down a little bit. So let's just do that. I'll just use my little spatula and put it right under there. And we'll do that under all 3 flowers. And again, it's okay if it gets a little messy. It's not going to show once the card is all the way done. So there we go. Yeah, that does help a little bit. Okay, that's great. Alrighty, so I pre-stamped the thank you for this card, and that was because I needed to use my die machine and I wasn't sure where it was going to sit on the table. So I already did that, but you would stamp it on some Whisper White, a scrap, and then get out the long rectangle die that comes with the Ornate Garden Suite. So we'll put that down flat onto this pretty frame. So you can see that Stampin' Up! Has this all made to line up and to match all perfectly. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of this frame. And again, I'm probably going to use extras because it's such a pretty card. I don't want my frame sagging in the middle. Remember, no saggy frames. Okay, so let me get all those backings off. And this is going to go this way. I hope that's straight for you. Now, I thought a little bow would be fun. And if you are a regular at my classes, you know that I always pre-tie the bows now for the last few years, because I used to help people with bows because some people get a little frustrated and I don't want you frustrated with your project. So it's just easier for me to tie you a little bow. So if you're going to be receiving these project kits in the mail next week because you placed an order between now and Monday night, know that your cute little bow is going to be all tied for you. That is the least I can do when you're nice enough to order from me. Okay, so I like that. So let's get a little glue dot and put that right on. No stress when it comes to bow tying. There we go. All right, so now this is good, except we want to add those cute flowers, right? So I made some flowers up. Get these little fishes out of the way. And what I did, it might be hard to tell on the sample on the video, but I just kind of crunched them up a little bit. I just thought that was more fun. So they just look kind of loved and worn and used like real flowers. But the petals are all up. So to put them together, I used a glue dot in between each layer of the flower. And again, they're not going to line up exactly, but it kind of gives it a real abstract look. Then to put the flower onto the project, I brought a little mini dimensional over and did that. And again, we're going to put the gold gilded gems right in the center. So you can poke these holes out or you can leave them in. They're going to get hidden a little bit, so that's okay. All right, so let's glue dot. And that, there we go. So you can fold them, kind of crush them however you like, and you can do that before or after you put them together. So now that I've already put them together, I'm just going to kind of, if I can, I trimmed my nails. I don't know about you, but my hands, my skin is just so dried out from all that darn washing. And then working with paper all day, I tend to not put lotion or oil or anything on my hands. And then I try to remember at night, but sometimes I fall asleep instead. And it's not like we can run right out to the nail salon right now, right? And make our fingers look a little nicer. So we got to just go with the flow. Okay, let's get this one crunched up and on that mini dimensional. And then I'll add the gold gems because that's my favorite part. All righty. Look at that cute little gold gem right on top of my host code for the week. There we go. All right. So we'll use the small ones for this one. Now the small one probably won't cover all three of those little holes, but that's okay. So when you do your project, you can decide if you want kind of the messed up flowers like I did on this card, on the purple card, or if you want your flowers more straight and flat, whoops, like we did on the thanks card. And that one, I don't know if I ever told you, it says, thanks for all you do. This one says, thank you. And then for this one, for the inside, I have just a plain flower. Let's see. And let's get it on the envelope. Okay, so now we can put the inside into the card. I like having something light colored to be able to write on inside the card. So I always like to have an insert, and then I like to stamp on it and make it pretty. There we go. So now you'll be able to write a note to whomever you want to say thank you to. I hope you like that. So those are today's projects. And hang tight, I'm gonna bring the camera back up to me. So be careful, because I don't want it to make you sick or give you a migraine or anything. Hi. So thank you so much for watching today's projects. And I will be posting a supply list when you receive your project kits for next week. For those of you that are going to place an order, just a reminder that you'll receive this cute little pillow box as my pillow gift. Mostly my way of saying thank you. And it says, "You're amazing," which I really do think all of you are. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope that everything is going well for you. Obviously, I hope for sure that you're feeling well and doing well during your isolation. If you're an essential worker and you need to go to work, thank you so much for helping all of us. I really do appreciate you. And if not, please stay home so that we can get through this virus mess soon, hopefully, and we can peak and flatten the curve and all that stuff that we see on the news and everything. If you have any questions about how to order or just how I did any of these projects today, I really would appreciate you just send me a private message on Facebook. You can comment on either my Create with Carol page or my Chickstamper page. Text me, call me, email me at carol@Chickstamper. Other than that, it's been great hanging out with you guys today. I hope you have a great weekend. And again, please be safe. And I look forward to, I think it's a regular thing, so I'll be back next Friday. Why not? We'll have some fun new projects for you then, okay? Take care. Mwah. Thanks you guys for watching. I really appreciate you.